Yo, what's up guys, it's NLW here, back again with another video, giving you my thoughts on last night's NXT Takeover Vengeance Day event. I was hyped going in, I binge watched the last 6 weeks of NXT in preparation for this, so I'm going to let you know if it met my expectations. But before my review starts, please hit that like button as we're trying to get the video out to more people. Also, comment below what you thought of Takeover and subscribe as we're trying to hit 700 subscribers soon on this channel. But without further ado, let's get into it and start with the start of the night, which was the Women's Tag Team Dusty Rhodes Classic Final. The team of Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart facing Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. The winner, we found out, is going to get a shot at the Women's Tag Team Championships. Early on, we saw Dakota Kai getting a knee worked over by Shotzi and Ember. That's until Raquel comes in to even the odds, just dominates the two of them. A 1-point hit Shotzi with a powerbomb onto the wall outside in the CWC. We see a pretty gnarly electric chair crossbody combination on the floor. Dakota Kai and Gonzalez just dominating until Shotzi and Ember fight back with some cool looking moves and combinations. Ember, she's thrown off of the ramp, she's taken out, and Shotzi in the ring prone for Kai to be thrown onto her with a crossbody, and then the powerbomb for Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai to win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. And they are going to get a shot at the Women's Tag Team titles. The match, it was fine. I don't really have any complaints about it, but it's difficult to get into it when there's not really high stakes. They keep talking about this history, but it really doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things, and I'm not going to remember who won the first ever Women's Tag Team Classic. But, you know, it was a decent match to start Takeover. Maybe a bit unmemorable, but we'll have to see what they do with Kai and Raquel going forward. Next up, we've got the North American Championship on the line as Johnny Gargano takes on Kushida. One of the matches I was most looking forward to in the build-up. I love both of these guys. Gargano, who's been hilarious in the build-up, especially last week when he was faking the injury, when he showed the picture of the wrong arm on the x-ray and then bumping in the wheelchair. Magnificent. But as he's making his entrance with the Way, Gargano's crew ends up splitting up. In fact, Austin Theory, nowhere to be seen. He sends the rest of the way to find them, so it's one-on-one fair matchup here. Gargano, Kushida, they're trading a lot of cool moves. Very slick counter wrestling. It reminds me of one of those early takeovers, those solid matches. Very fluid working together. They keep trading holds. They fight out of it. Many creative counters too, which is quite unique. At one point, Gargano gets hit with a keylock suplex on the floor in another massive thud. Kushida keeps going after the arm, but Gargano still manages to escape, and there's a bunch of great stuff in this one, like a twisting suplex off of the top rope from Kushida, although he keeps trying to fight back. Gargano with the arm locked in by Kushida, and he escapes by hitting a torpedo onto the turnbuckle. They go outside. Kushida seems to have disappeared until you hear a scream, and at the top of the ramp, he runs from the top of the ramp to the stage to the ring, kicking the arm of Gargano. Again, has the hoverboard lock in, but Gargano manages to escape. Eventually, it ends with a one final beat on the ramp, followed by a one final beat in the ring. Gargano retains the North American Championship. All I've got to say is, go back and watch this match if you haven't already. It's a fantastic one. My favourite of the night. Exceeded my expectations. I loved it. We'll probably watch it again. Kushida's best match in NXT to date. Very entertaining. The heel tactics from Gargano were good, and it was good to have the Way out of there, so it was a distraction-free environment. Two men having a great match. Best match of the night. Next up, we got the Men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Final. MSK, that's Wesley, and Nash Carter, formerly known as the Rascals. They take on the grizzled young veterans of Zach Gibson and James Drake. Gibson great on the mic, he's a great heel, and the Rascals, maybe their indie style, the high flips and that, isn't to everyone's taste, but I personally get a kick out of it. I like it. Very excited to see and watch MSK. You have to pay attention though, because you will miss something. They're very quick, and I love it. As I explained earlier, it's quite a wild style. I don't know how to explain it. It's not, everything is too crisp, but I like the franticness of it, if that makes sense. Lee does a senton over the ring post, which is so cool to see him do it, and the veterans, they know how to play to their strengths, and, you know, that classic ring general style. It's good contrast to the high flying of MSK. Gibson hits the Helter Skelter and then the 450 from Drake, but it's not enough. Even a dive through the ropes, wiping out Lee. Another big thud on the floor. That's 3 matches in a row. It might be a little excessive, but I don't know, it's just a nitpick. Anyway, one of my favourite moves, you see the moonsault push onto the opponent. The spiral taps and poison ranas aren't enough. MSK end up hitting their finish and win the Dusty Cup. A very good competitive match. Thought it was awesome. MSK, hope they take the tag titles off of Lorcan and Birch, because I don't really like them that much, to be honest. But I think they made a good choice with MSK winning. And I'm kind of glad not to see them in AEW, because they've got a lot of tag teams as it is, and they might get lost in the shuffle. Hopefully here, they can stand out as stars. Think they're a great fit. Want to see them work against more teams in the future. Overall, good stuff. Good clash of styles. Love this match. And after a short music video, we see Cameron Grimes. He's minted out now. He invested in GameStop and Dogecoin, and now he's legit making bank after this situation, and it's so cool. They made it into a storyline. Love him in the Speedos by the pool, fanning his money. Just great stuff. Want to see more of this character. I think he's a great guy. We move on. We got the Women's Championship on the line in a triple threat match between Io Shirai, the champion, Mercedes Martinez, and Toni Storm. The best 3 women on the brand at the moment, in my opinion. So you got the introductions. During those, though, Mercedes attacks Io with a frantic pace to start this match. Io hits a moonsault, hits the barricade, and gets thrown over. Toni and Mercedes trade some moves in the ring. Eventually, Io comes back in with a double stomp, and then they try and set something up on the announce table. Kind of messes up because it breaks. However, Io does hit a spectacular dive from the steel trust outside. Toni hits the Storm Zero on Mercedes in the ring, but that only gets a 2. Eventually, hits a headbutt from the top, tries to make the cover, but Io hits the moonsault and retains the Women's Championship. It was kind of short considering Takeover standard, but I did like it for what it was. It could have been a little bit better, but again, that's just nitpicking. Could have been a bit longer, given more time, but still pretty solid match. I enjoyed it for what it was. And before the main event, we cut to LA Knight signing his NXT contract. Of course, he's formerly Eli Drake in Impact and NWA. Good addition, although judging by EC3's treatment on NXT, I don't have that high hopes for him, but he's a great promo. In fact, he cut a great promo on the pre-show of this show, so that was one to check out. A fantastic talker, one of my favourites from Impact a few years ago. But LA Knight, yeah, he's in NXT, needs strong characters and strong promos like him, so for now, I'm cautiously optimistic about his future. And then we move on to the main event. It's for the NXT Championship. Finn Balor defends the NXT title against the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. A match that I've already booked for my next pay-per-view, but hey, that's a bit of a spoiler. Regardless though, I thought it was a great physical matchup. You got that Mat Game submissions going early on. Pete Dunne working over the fingers, hitting a quite gnarly looking armbar, stomping on the head and driving back the arm. I love the submission tactics. And Finn Balor as well, he's keeping up. He's on a different level since coming back to NXT. The Mat Game wrestling, and you can tell they're fighting with a sense of urgency. It feels like a fight, a real fight. A reverse DDT. At one point, the X-Plex is turned into somewhat of a Falcon Arrow because his knee gives out. Finn comes back with a huge clothesline. The coup de grace caught in the triangle. The bitter end is countered into a DDT. A bunch of forearms to the face, which look really brutal. Again, stomping on the hands into a DDT. They're trading shots. The bitter end into the 1916, but Pete holds onto the fingers and then snaps them. You can tell that Finn really doesn't want his fingers to be beaten up like that. It ends. Finn rips the mouthpiece out of Pete Dunne. Nails a dropkick right to the face, could have broken his jaw, and then a coup de grace and then a finishing touch of the 1916, and Finn is still the NXT champion. I probably undersold this match because I can't remember quite so many of the spots, but overall, just trading submission maneuvers. If you like your solid mat-based style mixed in with some of the NXT kickouts, you're going to love this match. I thought it was great. Certainly delivered, but the post-match was even more shocking than we could have imagined. As Finn celebrates Lorcan and Burch attacking from behind, that leads to the Undisputed Era coming out to save Finn Balor, and they're all standing, they're hitting their pose, and suddenly Adam Cole super kicks Finn Balor, leveling him. Kyle O'Reilly is furious at this. He's arguing with Adam Cole. They're both getting at each other, trying to play peacekeeper, trying to keep them separated, when Adam Cole, shockingly, hits a super kick on Kyle O'Reilly, lays him out, and walks up the ramp. And I can't say I didn't see this coming at some point, although it was kind of shocking to see it here. I see a bunch of people upset that the Undisputed Era are broken up, but to be honest, I didn't really have that strong of an emotional connection to them as a group. They've kind of plateaued as a group. They need to expand and do more as individuals, and I'm so happy that they've broken up now because I'm not sick of the Undisputed Era, but I feel like they've run their course, as I've said. Adam Cole, push him to the moon, maybe put him on the main roster, keep O'Reilly in NXT. I want to see NXT champion Kyle O'Reilly. That's what I want to see in the future. He can be the next top babyface like Johnny Gargano was. He's very likeable. I don't care too much about Bobby Fish or Roderick Strong, to be honest. I want the focus to be on Cole and O'Reilly, and that's going to be a fantastic match when it eventually happens, but judging by their previous encounters, it's going to be a great match to see in the future. So overall, got to give the show a big thumbs up. The time flew by. The opening match was perhaps a little unremarkable, but still solid women's tag. My favourite match of the night was Gargano and Kushida. Johnny Takeover returning in a big way. Perhaps my favourite match of the night. And then you've got MSK and Grizzled Young Veterans again. Love the clash of styles in that tag match. Fantastic stuff. The women's match, it was alright. The triple threat could have used a bit more time, but it was still decent despite the length of the match. And then the main event was a technical masterpiece, as I said. Pete Dunne and Finn Balor knocking bells out of each other, delivering. I love the brutal looking technical mat-based style in the match, and they knocked it out of the park. And then of course the post-match with the Undisputed Era imploding, Cole turning on O'Reilly, long overdue. I look at this angle, seeing Kyle O'Reilly getting a mega push from this, and that's all I care about really. Adam Cole as well, he can get back to the nasty gritty steel heel stuff that he's had without an entourage backing him up, so it'll be good to see what he does on his own, doing his own thing. I think the Undisputed Era, they were great, they've done all they can do. There's no need to have them as a group right now because otherwise it's going to be stale, so I'm glad to see them implode. Hopefully see Cole and O'Reilly battle it out like they've done in New Japan and Ring of Honor in the past. So 2 thumbs up from me for this show, but let me know what you thought in the comments below of NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? Sound off in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it, helps get the video out there. Also subscribe as we're trying to hit 700 subscribers soon on this channel. Thank you so much to everyone who's already subscribed. I'm very grateful for over 600 already, and we're going to try and hit 1,000 very soon, so it'd be great if you helped us get there by hitting that subscribe button below. And I've got some exciting videos coming up this week too, including an Elimination Chamber prediction video, also an Elimination Chamber setup, as well as some bonus content that you can only see right here on NLW Figs. That's it from me, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys later.